let's get right into the heart of our very first conversation, and it's about the Labour Party. It was the bride of the Nigerian 2023 elections. There was some kind of upset, if you look at it. A third arm of opposition in Nigeria's politics, or where you say that it came with a wave that surprised a lot of people. And one of such persons that was in the forefront of pushing the narratives and the message of the political party, and that of Mr. Peter Obi, who was presidential candidate, was Kenneth Okonkwo. And today, the former spokesperson for the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council has resigned his membership of the party. Mr. Okonkwo was a Labour Party campaign spokesperson in the 2023 election. In his resignation statement, he says the Labour Party has been afflicted by internal and leadership crisis. And tonight, I'm being joined by Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo live here in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much indeed, Mr. Okonkwo, for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure being here again. And thank you, viewers, for joining in.
Does anarchy looms this time around in Labour Party?
It's not looming. It has arrived.
In Labour Party?
Absolutely. Like I've always said, anarchy is the absence of authority or non-recognition of authority. Now, in Labour Party, there is no authority that is governing the Labour Party.
What do you mean? There is Mr. Abure, which the court has said is the authentic national chairman of the Labour Party.
I don't think I have read any court decision that said Abure is the authentic national chairman. What happened is that all the court they went to, because they knew that there was no convention, so they always avoid the issue of convention. They will come to court and say, court, we need to have our agents in Ondo. You have to give us power. ANEC is precluding us from fielding our agents. If we don't have the agents, we are doomed. There is only one leadership. Give us order to field our agents under the leadership of Abure. That is the trickish and cunning way they have been going about the issue of leadership of Labour Party. The issue of leadership, simplicity, has not really come under the scrutiny of the court. Because the courts will tell you we don't have jurisdiction to even determine who will be the leader of a political party, that it is the internal affair of a political party. So the issue here is that in democracy, according to section 82 subsection 3 of the Electoral Act, party executives are elected by the members of the party or their duly elected delegates. Anything outside that does not represent the party, does not reflect any executive membership of any organ of a political party. Remember that in section 223 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they said the party executives must emerge in a democratic manner. And they define what democratic manner means. They must be in power not exceeding 4 years. Since I came into Labour Party, I have not been invited to come to any convention whatsoever. I have not witnessed any congress at the ward, local or state level. And in the constitution of the party, Article 15, 2, 3, 4, the tenure of the ward, local government and state executive is 3 years. You and I, we have been here. Have you ever heard that Labour Party conducted any congress at any of these levels? So basically, there is non-existent Labour Party in all these levels.
But they
by the constitution of
there was
Labour Party.
There was, according to I have spoken to the legal advisor of the party,
yes,
Mr. Kende, who said that there was a validly conducted neck of the party. And what Mr. Abure was telling the court was that as of October last year, he told the court that he was validly elected by the party at the demise and the death of the former national chairman of the party. And as of that 2021, he naturally and officially and legally, according to him, became the national chairman of the party. And they also went further to whatever meeting you and some others subscribe to in the Abia State government house or in Umahia, that was illegal. It was not understood by the constitution of the party.
Oh, well, he has just said exactly what that executive is known for. Lies and balderdash. The only legal thing that ever happened in Labour Party that I'm aware of is that meeting that happened in Umahia. In the Labour Party, by the constitution they wrote even before I entered, the National Executive Council is made up of the elected president and vice, governor and deputy, then the NLC presidents and secretaries, TUC president and secretaries, and the head of Women Commission in the Labour Party, and the NWC members. It was the INEC that declared the seat of Abure and his cohorts vacant, not the Labour Party.
But the court has eventually said that was not to be.
I just told you what happened in the court. That they say went to court and say INEC is denying them the
but are you aware
to
are you aware
agents. That was what went to court.
Are you aware of the Abure-led NEC meeting that was conducted, where it was said that an election was conducted?
Yes.
You are aware? You saw it on TV.
I said, how can an Abure who is not a chairman of a national party call any NEC meeting?
How is it not?
As at the time, like I told you, the Abia meeting held, INEC had declared that Labour Party had no national executive. INEC is the supervisory commission to political parties. So that's why I said anarchy has arrived. Because if INEC will tell you that this party has no executives and give the stakeholders the opportunity to fill up the gap pending convention.
On what structure is that meeting? What structure?
I just told you that in our constitution, that the governor, the deputy elected are members of NEC, and the presidents of NLC and TUC and the secretaries are members of NEC. So in the absence of NWC, these are the only legitimately recognized NEC members. And they met, and then they chose, because the NEC has a right by our constitution to choose the members of the NWC if between conventions vacancy emerges.
The way you are describing things, Mr. Okonkwo,
yes,
you are describing as though Abure is the problem that you have in the Labour Party.
I defended Abure more than any other human being. It's on record. Is he your problem? He can never be my problem. Why? I have not elicited any interest to contest for any electoral position.
But why are you using the basis of his action and inaction as a premise upon which you think that there is problem in the Labour Party? As far as Abure is concerned, there is no problem, only that some people want to take over the party from him and some of his members who are leaders of the party. Yeah. And according to him, he believes that the party is on the right track and cannot be hijacked.
Okay, let's put it this way. When I came into Labour Party, a lot of forces wanted to hijack Labour Party from Abure. I stood against it. You were aware, the Arabambi group, the Apampa group, they all came. I said, no. If you want to emerge as the leader of Labour Party, don't come through the window. Come through the door. I said, and I remember I told Arabambi this personally. I said, I have no personal interest in Abure, because he showed me the criminal things that Abure did. He showed it to me personally. I said, look, if you want to punish Abure, if you're a lawyer, you will know that you will go through the criminal procedure, not the civil procedure. That if you go through the civil procedure, you just want to use Abure's alleged criminality to hijack Labour Party. That I am defending the institution of Labour Party, not the person of Abure. That if you go through the criminal procedure, I have no business with that. Now, I was believing that Abure, with all this baggage, that when it comes to the convention time, he will respectfully step down on his own and then cede that national chairman to the North.
Were you invited to the NEC meeting?
No, I wasn't.
Did you hear about the NEC meeting?
Yes, I'm aware.
Was Peter Obi invited to the NEC meeting?
I wouldn't know.
Was the governor of Abia State invited to the NEC meeting?
He doesn't need to be invited. He's a member.
But was it there?
He is the head.
But was it there?
I said he's a member and he's the head. So he's the one who ought to invite others.
So that's the point I'm making.
Yes.
If Mr. Abure said there was a NEC meeting.
Abure cannot call a NEC meeting. If we were in a place where rule of law...
According to the constitution of the Labour Party,
yes,
the NEC meeting, as agreed by stakeholders and the caucus of the party, agree on a date, and it could be convened by the leadership of the party, which is the NWC.
No, NWC was non-existent when that meeting held by the authority of INEC, and there was no court decision then.
So it behoves on the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti,
absolutely,
to assume naturally the leadership of the party.
Absolutely.
As an elected official of the party, the only governor of the Labour Party. Do you think Abure is a problem of Labour Party?
He is.
And until he leaves, the party cannot be healed.
He's gone.
But the court system, he exists.
That is why the party is going. Because the party has no power to dictate any leadership to any people.
Now that you are jumping ship, Mr. Okonkwo, so you are giving up on the Labour Party.
First of all, I am not jumping any ship. I am simply escaping from a sinking ship.
Yeah, you have jumped out of the ship anyway.
No.
That's a matter of jumping.
I am saved.
Either you are jumping out or jumping.
That is sinking. That's a different thing. So
if the ship is sinking, you are jumping out of it.
That's what I'm saying. You know, you're jumping into safety. But let's put it this way. I came into politics for good governance. I didn't come into politics aspiring for any position. You know what Jesus Christ will say? He said, the kings of the Gentiles lord over people, but he that should be the greatest among you shall be your servant. I came to politics to serve because my faith made it upon me, put it upon me, that wherever I am, I should look for the interest of the people, being their servant. Now, when I came into Labour Party, I saw people who have not even tested any fortune in their lives, who is using Labour Party as a tool to enrich themselves. If a man is serious that in 2027 he wants to bring a Southern presidential candidate, how can that same man be coming from the South, angling to be the national chairman of that same party? That would be voodoo politics in Nigerian reality. Because what sunk PDP in the 2023 election was that sentiment that the presidency ought to be zoned to the South. Atiku Abubakar, having taken over the presidency, they pleaded with him, please cede the post of the national chairman to the South. He still refused, and PDP is where it is today. So anybody from Labour Party who is from the South and who is saying he wants to be the national chairman and wants to put a Southern presidential candidate in 2027 is simply dishonest, because he knows that the North cannot accept any party that does not have any northern input, either as the national chairman or the presidential candidate of the party. The South rejected it in PDP. So Abure is not looking for any Labour Party person to be president. He's looking for his pocket. Because according to, realities, they are men of their pocket. They are men of, not men of the people.
Those are extreme,
men of power and of their pocket.
Extreme allegations,
yes,
which you may not be able to solidly find evidence. If you say Abure is a man of his pocket,
oh sure,
that's an extreme allegation.
What is extreme?
To impugn on his integrity.
What is? I was just citing people. Arabambi came in and told the whole world that he has a criminal report from the police indicting Abure on certain issues. I saw it myself. Now, the National Treasurer of Labour Party came out openly and said Abure forged her signature to take money. Has Abure sued her? The former National Deputy Chairman of the Labour Party, one Mrs. Lebeke, came out and said Abure forged her signature. Has Abure sued her? So I have the right to tell you that this is a man who is a serial forger of people's signatures, because people came out openly to say it and he did nothing about it.
But should Mr. Abure take you on this legally? Can you defend what you are saying?
I said I just quoted sources who are public.
But does it mean that they are right?
Are you taking me on?
No, but it's a judgment on his person that the courts, which should be able to adjudicate whether Mr. Abure is a criminal or not, has not done.
First of all, I would so much appreciate him to do that tomorrow.
Really?
I said, what I'm saying is even a tip of the iceberg. I am an insider. And again, in law, if you cite a newspaper, for instance, there is nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying, I just called names and cited people who made comments. So they are not Kenneth Okonkwo's comments.
So the reason why you are against Mr. Abure is not only because you think that there are allegations of criminal nature against him. You are also saying that there might be some external influences and forces using Mr. Abure to destroy the Labour Party. Those are some of the things that you are describing. Is that really so?
Now, let's look at it this way. There was an Arab Ambi who said at all costs Abure must be removed and Abure must go to jail. This was Arabambi's stand. I took him on that. The same Arabambi is telling you that Abure is the best thing that can happen to the Labour Party. The same set of people who are saying the ticket is no longer reserved for anybody are saying the ticket is reserved for P2B. Are they talking as people who are not being manipulated from outside? You can see it yourself.
So there are external forces who are manipulating the Labour Party.
There has to be external forces in any association that you belong to. You must anticipate it as given, because there must be spies from other parties in your own affair.
So Labour Party is infiltrated?
Like every other party. It is normal and natural. But it's unfortunate that it is the leadership that are the collaborators. If you, without reason, begin to accept the people who you were sending me to go and confront, Abure was sending me to confront the Arabambis, and then without reason, you're telling me you accepted them. What reason is that? The reason is because Arabambi them wanted to hijack the Labour Party from the back door. Now it is Abure that is trying to hijack the Labour Party from the back door. So they now have a common front, because they might now have a common principle. Abure them were telling us that the ruling party was sponsoring the Arabambi people. They were saying it then openly. So now that Arabambi is with him, I have the reason to say he has joined the people that the ruling party is sponsoring.
You are still a member of the Labour Party up until the 25th.
Yes.
So as of today, you are still a member?
Because I dated my retirement, as in, but you know, I am on terminal leave.
So you are returning to the APC?
First of all, I have told you before, and at the risk of being misunderstood, that I don't use the word never in anything that I am doing. Never belongs to God. But why did I leave APC in the first place? They were a party that was moving Nigeria in the wrong direction, security-wise, economy-wise. And I waited to see whether if there is a new government, when there is a change of power, we could see a new lease. Then Tinubu came in and then decided to choose a fellow Muslim to become his vice president, in addition to the security problem, in addition to the economic problem. So Tinubu now displayed that he is a man that is cantankerous to the spirit of diversity. I was telling my Muslim brothers that it's not about religious sentiments. It's about that a man who does not recognize our religious diversity will not recognize our ethnic diversity. That is simply a man who is cantankerous to the spirit of our diversity. What is happening today? The Muslims are suffering most in this country. because it's about using them to acquire power. He just gave posts to the north without power and gave power to his people. So if you're talking about my going back to APC, if I say I'm a man looking for good governance for Nigeria, and I see a man who has chastised Nigerians with scorpions and serpents, who have made Nigerians to start paying 1,000 something rather than 195 naira that they were paying before he came into office. If I say I'm going back to APC to meet a country or a party where the leaders, a general who is a man of the DG of NYSC, is still picked on the road like a common criminal. We are in my place, Southeast. You could see how a member of the House of Assembly was killed and his corpse deposited along the road. If I see all these things and I get back to APC, then I am not serious when I say I'm fighting for good governance. Let me tell you, I will be the first to admit if APC changes today and is doing good for Nigeria. But don't tell me that out of 6 geopolitical zones, a man came in and is choosing only people from Southwest, not even all Yoruba, the qualified ones, but his own loyalists. As I've always told you, Jagabanic proteges, tainted with a Miloko philosophy. Then you want me to go back to such a party? I resign on principle. And until those issues are addressed, I remain opposed to any party that will not recognize our diversity. I am not in politics to jive. I am in politics for the people. The greatness I'm enjoying today is from the love of the people. When I want to take a decision, I look at what is right or wrong, what is true or false.
Mr. Okonkwo, you said Peter Obi was the best option for Nigeria in 2023.
I still maintain that.
Up until now.
In 2023.
But 2027,
yes.
Will you still work for Peter Obi?
You already know my stand on that.
You said you would not. That
whatever happened in 2023 should go with 2023.
You said Peter Obi, Bola Tinubu and Atiku should step aside.
I said it and I maintain it. Because in Nigeria, people will not give you their mandate and you treat it with levity. You must do everything decisively to secure it. Unfortunately, nature has bestowed on us the duty that in Nigeria you will not only win election, but you have to fight for your mandate. It has become part of our democratic.
So what party are you going to?
And remember, I told you that the indecisiveness of what happened in Labour Party was the last straw that broke the camel's back.
And you blame Peter Obi for it?
I blame everybody, including myself. We must all take collective responsibility for the anarchy in Labour Party. I saw it coming. I am a trained administrator before I even became an actor. And when I see crisis coming 1,000 kilometers, I cite it. And I'll tell people, let's take it out. When I was saying anarchy looms, we have not come to this level. Now we've come to a level where you have caretaker committee that is chosen by all the members, stakeholders of Labour Party. And you have another set of clowns claiming that they are leadership of the party. And they will use all means to sustain themselves in power. They will use all legal abracadabra. They will use all, because they are looking for their pockets.
So who will then, if you think Peter Obi
is not
good enough
on the next party,
the APC is not good enough, are you going to be the PDP? Or which party have you decided to go?
For now, I have not made a decision on the party I want to go in. And if I do not see any party that has clear direction on the welfare of the Nigerian people, I will sit down and take it up in prayers. I would not join any party, except to my own understanding, it's a party that has a clear direction to the welfare of the people.
So Labour Party is a gunner as far as you're concerned. It's not a platform that can be of good to any Nigerian going forward.
Labour Party cannot even rescue itself. So how can it talk about rescuing Nigeria? I've just told you.
What about Peter Obi and a possible coalition that can change things around?
You just say coalition. That is the best alternative that the opposition people would have to take.
If they take Peter Obi, would you work for him?
Now, you're coming into democracy. If the whole opposition should come together as one, and I decide that I have seen that this collectivity have the interest of Nigerians at heart, whoever they bring out, if I'm in the mood, why not?
On a final,
I'm not against anybody.
On a final note, where do you see this nation headed, and what do you think is the panacea or the solution to our present challenges?
Free, fair, credible, verifiable, and periodic election. If we have this, 20 years from now, Nigeria will be a first world nation. There's something about Nigeria. They know how to adjust to any situation once there is honesty in that situation. Oh, how I miss Jonathan now. If only because we're moving towards the direction of free, fair, credible, and verifiable election. I will not guarantee you that democracy will not trump up some crazy leaders from time to time, but democracy will still take them out when democracy realizes that these leaders are crazy. But if you don't have free, fair, credible election, you will bring crazy leaders and they will crazily destroy the system, and there will not be any opportunity to take them out.
Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, who is a spokesperson of the Peter Obi presidential campaign in 2023, thanks so much indeed for your time tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.